Hi there. My name is Marceline Keene, and I'm responding to Pedro Martin's affirming speech for Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All. Um, and there are a couple points about the the competition and the actual implementation of it that I think maybe are oversimplified or overlook a couple of factors that might make it more difficult. Uh, it can't a new Medicare system like this. It would take a lot for the U.S. to implement it because our healthcare system is so skew from a Medicare for all type system. We have not implemented the infrastructure to distribute and test everything that we need. Like, we don't have enough researchers that research all people, all types of people. We don't have distributors that reliably work well with the government all the time about all sorts of products. It's not a guarantee. And so, not that it can't be done, but it would take more work. And it's not just a question about money, but it's a question about like human resources and time and transport. But also, as far as the competition between the US and other countries, that doesn't necessarily lead to innovation or better drugs or a uh, faster process for bringing them to the people. Private companies, even when collaborating with the government of a single country, it's not necessarily leading to innovation or improvements, and that can be for a few reasons. Because there are a lot of steps to bringing purchasable drugs to the people. They have to be like researched, which can take months, if not years, and it has to be researched across as many different types of people as you can, and ideally as many different types of people that there are in the US. So they have to be researched not just on white, cis, thin men or anything. Like, it has to be researched across all sorts of demographics. And then it has to be verified by health organizations that collaborate with the government so that they can be bought in stores by enough people. And then they have to be manufactured at a consistent and high rate, like industrial rate, and then distributed across not just the country, but now through international competition, the world, which takes a lot of resources, and it's not necessarily in place yet. So again, it would just take some time. But making the problem is that making that the job of the government will make that process slower than if it was purely private companies. And especially in a government where on any given issue, more politicians will disagree with your take than agree with it. It's going to be a really slow process, no matter what you advocate for. And another issue within that part I mentioned before is that not all company subsidiaries are responsible for other parts of the process. Like, researchers and manufacturers don't necessarily interact, and that can lead to a lack of communication about a certain change or problem or change that needs to take place. And if there's competition between different companies with possibly different interests, then one side might be inclined to kind of stick their head in the sand and just kind of continue on with the process without really working together with other parts of the chain, so that can lead to like bottlenecks in the process, and then there's not as good dissemination of the drugs across the country and now world. And so that's kind of all I have to say. That I don't. I agree with Medicare for all, by the way. This is the best I could do without just being disingenuous. All right, thanks, bye.